Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 4 of Unfiltered Desires, Smashing Sex Stigmas with Tobi and Dina. Who am I? I'm Tobi Staples, Earth Angel and Self Mastery Mentor, but I would love for you all to hear who Dina is too. Dina, I love you. I'm so grateful to be here. Please let them know who you are.
Hi, love. Kisses for you from Aruba. I'm Dina. I am a personal coach, a relationship coach, and an intimacy coach. And I love doing this podcast with Toby because we are going to dive into the raw, into the real, and the sacred truths about intimacies. So it's all yours, Toby.
Well, today we were talking about a lot of things. We're going to talk about that sex is just not the physical. That's for sure. We're going to get down to a soul level today because what if your deepest orgasms aren't physical, but energetic, emotional, even spiritual? Today, we're going to get into it beyond friction and performance and diving into the real essence of intimacy, soul to soul connection. What do you think, Dina?
Toby, I would like to start with something simple because some of the people listening to us do not even know what is spiritual sexuality. Okay, so let's define it. Okay, I will try to do it my way. Okay, it is a practice of bringing presence, intentions, and soul into your intimate experiences. It's about connecting not just with your body, but with your partner's energy, emotions, and spirit. And if you are single, you need to go deeper with your own soul, with your own spirit and emotion and energy. That's the connection that we are talking about. That's the energy. Okay. So let's talk about how this way of living deepens pleasure and connection. How does it deepens it, Toby? Let's talk about that.
Well, it deepens connection on a very big level because it touches about every level. Like, okay, I made a lot of notes about this to get into this deeper with you all, but you know what? I'm going to put this to the side for a minute because my soul is telling me to speak. Now, energy is everything. And if you are not connected to the essence of your own being, it is not a fulfilling experience trying to connect to another. Your energy enhances everything. You know, you have to see and feel and know thyself in order to be able to appreciate that with anybody else. Sex is supposed to be something that is sensual and enhancing of your experience of life and magnifies your essence of being. It's not supposed to diminish it. So I pulled up a lot of notes for y'all today, but I need you all to realize your energy first. How many of you have sexual intercourse and not even really are there with that person? Like you're thinking about other things. You're trying to relieve stress. You're not tapped into that engaging experience for your own self energetically or the other person. You're supposed to be filling each other's cup through this soulful sexual experience, not depleting each other. And it's an exchange. So people so freely open up their bodies and their minds like it's just a fast food laneway restaurant, like here, a quick serve, come and go through, and it's not the way it's supposed to be. You connect more with the drive-through person serving you than you do your soulful sexual partner. What
I
do you
love
think,
it.
Dina?
I love it. So you opened up a Pandora box. So so it's for me very simple. Okay, we are human. We need to use the human brain. And for you to use the human brain and not a reptilian and not a mammalian, you need to tap into that what you can't see, what you can't explain with words. So that's the best way how I can describe it. So when you tap into that part of us, because every one of us has that part, when you tap into that part, there is some new things that you will download. Oh, I thought someone, no, you play some a tag there.
Yeah.
You are, when you tap in that area, you download information for your next part of your journey, and it comes through sexual energy, which is spiritual energy, which is creative energy. So that's why we need to use that energy to continue in this world, because you did not come here to dress up, to work for someone, or just to be there and be sorry for yourself. You came here with a purpose. And by downloading that information, you will get your purpose. That's why we need to deepen that pleasure and deepen that connection. Okay, I love it.
Well, big
So
time. Big
what
time. I love what you're saying. Keep going, Dina. I love this. I'm like exploding with
I
joy
want,
and tingles. I'm
I
like, yes, yes, yes.
I want to let's talk a little bit about the emotional intimacy and the sacred sex. Okay, so because if um if I my clients, okay, when I am in an event, everybody no everybody thinks they have sex, they make love, and that's enough, and wham bam, and it's okay, it's over, now back to work. But they don't have as a goal to tap into that emotional intimacy, that sacred sex. So that's what we I want to open space for some for our audiences to have that as a goal. Okay, so true intimacy is not about physical touch. It's about emotional vulnerability. And that's what I want to talk to you. I want to explore that part. What is emotional vulnerability? True intimacy, it's about trust. What is that? When we open our hearts, we create a space for sacred sex to unfold. And there is where the magic happens. But how do we build that trust and attunement? Because it is an attunement. And why does performance based sex often leave us feeling empty? That's what I'm throwing out there, Toby. So there are a lot of questions.
Well, it's, you know why it leaves people feeling empty? It's because of the neuroscience back proof evidence that the eye gazing and breath sinking and becoming one on a breath level and an essence level actually produces oxytocin and dopamine in the body. So there's neuroscientific back. So this is why when people aren't connecting on a sexual level, they have no idea about the sacred sexual exchange because they're not syncing. And that's what it is. It's syncing souls. It's sacred energy exchange first. And this is why that connection is so important with the self and with the other individual. Because if you lack that connection on any level, well, then you're not having sacred sexual exchange. You're just having spitfire. It's like you're spitting at each other, really. Disconnected.
Yes, yes.
You're exchanging DNA on every kind of biological level except for soul connection. And
True.
literally, when you look into somebody's eyes, that is the most vulnerable space of their being because you can tell when somebody can look you in the eyes and maintain that connection or not. How many people can actually lay with somebody and cuddle and be in sync with that heartbeat without words?
Yes.
I think that is most magical, even before an orgasm or after it, is that syncing of heartbeats, the breathing, the beat, the breath as one. There is so much exchange that everybody just avoids, and that fulfills and heals our emotions on every level.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to add something on it. I'm going to explain it like this. People feel empty because they don't know about seventh heaven, and it does exist. Okay, seventh heaven is that part that what I started to saying, you cannot see it, you cannot explain it in words, but you know it's there. And it happens in the 1%, not the 99% of the world that we see, that we touch, but it happens in that 1% when you tap into it. And we need tools. There are means to tap into that 1% so that you become the 100%, and that so that you can use that energy to continue your journey. So that's what, because you are not tapping into that 1% and 99%, then that leaves only the 99%, and that leaves you empty. And that's why the most of us search for sex, because we only use the 99%, what we feel, what we touch, what we taste. And that 1% is that magical to tap into the seventh heaven. So that's the best way I can explain. And songwriters, um, 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 poetry, and all of that, all of those artists, they tap into that 100%, and that's why they create that those beautiful books, those beautiful music. And because everybody can have that information, it's not only for Toby, or it's not only for Dina. Just need to tap into and grab it, and that's what we teach. Okay, so that's the best way I can explain that emptiness. Okay, what came up? Because I saw your face, Toby. What came up? What did I open up?
I just love that you call it the seventh heaven, because that's why my first book is called Turning Hell into Heaven. You take your hellish state and you turn it into heaven on purpose, with intention, because we're all fueled by heavenly love. Yes, we are. And we have to will it through us and embody it and connect to it in order to give that connectivity to anybody else. You have to be in your state of heaven at all times, just breathing, in order to flood that out into any connection. And I love that you said that, because I walk around in the state of heaven every day. So I want sex to be just as heavenly, because if not, it'll rob my soul, spit on my spirit, and it'll just make me feel like I'm in a living hell all over again.
Yes, and I think we were sisters in another lifetime, because I
Yes,
am
because
like,
we're sisters now, Dina.
yeah, but I think I'm talking about real family, blood sisters. No, we are sisters. We are connected. However, in a other way. You know
Yeah.
why I say that? Because I do believe that you need to be in that state, and you can use sex um, um, to be in that state. But during the day, during your work, during your normal interaction, you need to have the proper tools to stay in that state. Because it's not, if you have a hidden agenda, that is where you boycott yourself. That's very important.
Exactly.
Yes, because some people think, oh no, for a while I need to do this and I need to focus. No, you need to let it flow. I like how you use it. Okay, so, but while I'm saying this, I want to, while I'm saying this, I want to emphasize the role of a trustworthy coach. That's why I am a coach. This is my mission. Um, Sometimes you need a trustworthy coach holding space for you. I got this week, I got a connection with two, a former client and a prospect client. So this client, they had a coaching program with me 6 months. She with her partner, and it's time for me to follow up to check on them, because that's how I do what I do. So She told me, "Hey Dina, I need to talk to you." When I called her, she scheduled an appointment, but she rescheduled, so I could see it in my agenda. So last week I called her. I Her name came in my vision, so I called her, and I told her, "Hey, you didn't reschedule. You canceled it, but you didn't reschedule. So what's happening? There is a reason why you chose a date, you rescheduled it, and you canceled it. There is a reason. I know you." So she came yesterday, and she told me, "Hey Dina, I'm breaking up. We are breaking up." And you know why I'm telling this? Because this was this is her journey, and she chose me because she trusted me as her coach to continue to help her, hold space for her in this new journey that she chose. Okay, that's why I'm telling everybody this, because you have to have someone that, and I'm telling them, everybody, specifically a coach, because you cannot choose someone that don't have the information and you don't look up to. Okay, so this other prospect client, he called me yesterday because he saw me somewhere on the social media, and he said to me, "Hey, I just terminated a long-term relationship. I am into a soul search and a journey. What I don't know if you can help me out." So I invited him today to come today for a discovery session, because that is the time, because I told him also, I don't know you and you don't know me. And in the discovery session, I we can get to know each other. And you can immediately say, "Hey, this person, I trust it." Or I can start trusting this person and start a journey. Okay? So that's what I wanted to share. What came up, Toby? Tell
You know
me.
what? I love everything that you just said, and it's so imperative because I everybody has seen what I've done, and they've seen the witness of it, and how I've held space for everybody that I've worked with for them to achieve the same level of frequency that I embody. And when this is what a coach's journey is all about, or a mentor's journey, or an influencer's journey, is to lead people to the same equivalency or even better than themselves. You see? And it's very important that people don't have hidden agendas, and they're actually there for the ultimate best for all. And you know it's very clear. People get to know you, and anybody that's listened to us on our podcast and coming out even over the past couple of weeks, I've heard great feedback about this podcast, about how we've already blown their minds open to new neural networking because of things that they've never thought about that we brought to them. So you all have trusted us up until now to guide you through this soul sexual journey that you're taking with us. Whether you avoid it, admit it, deny it, that's your business. But I already know that we are flooding the world with knowledge, wisdom, loving power for you all to take your power and use it to enhance your own experiences. And it's very important that you find people to work with that are on your frequency. Well, if you would love to be of the same magnitude of knowledge, wisdom, and love that both of us sitting here do have, Dina and I are on the same frequency. This is why we can deliver it to you. We both live in a state of seventh heaven, and it is embodied by all unless denied. You see, you all have this underneath all of that fear, shame, blame, guilt, denial, and avoidance of it all. But it's time to get real with that. Stop watching what everybody else is doing. Sit with how you truly feel. Do you feel good? Are you having great sex, whether it's with yourself or with another? Have you actually explored your own being on a soulful, energetic level of your essence? Do you know what makes you tick? Do you know what turns you on? Or are you stuck in a pattern of believing what does, but leaving you empty? Because that's your key sign. that you're not having good sex is you're walking away from it empty, feeling unfulfilled, feeling disconnected, feeling lost, and hypersexual because you're trying to fulfill a need.
Yes. Wow. Powerful preaching. Fantastico. So after this,
too many people, Dina, are having sex from needs instead of enhancing fulfillment. And it's totally inverted and reversed. And that is not connectiveness, and there's never meeting their need, because what they're looking for is that connectivity and that wholeness.
Yes. Yes. So we are talking about sexual energy and if you have good sex or not. But to have these beautiful experiences, you need to be healed. And you need to be fully present. It's the best way I can describe it. Healed and fully present. Some people are walking zombies. Okay? So they yes, they are more in their heads and unfocused. So true intimacy is when your body speaks your soul's truth and someone listens. To get there, we often need to heal all the wounds. And I'm talking about the wounds of past lives also. They block our presence and our pleasure. Tobi, let's talk about how to begin that healing process. I'm not talking about sharing really in depth, but let's talk a little bit about how we can do that and
how they can heal. How they can heal. Their best bet to heal, number one, you go into the description of the video and you book your fucking call. Number one. Number two, you stop playing with your own ass in your life. Number three, you want enhancement and healing or you want destruction? Your choice. The ball's in your court. Here, I throw the ball to you. What you going to do with it? You going to book your call and get better? Because we have all that you need to guide you. That's what they need to do to heal.
Yes, I'm totally with you, and I'm going to add something. So if this episode, you're listening to us, and this resonates with you, I encourage you to share it with someone who needs to hear it. If you are ready to explore sacred sexuality, because that's what I believe and we believe in, and heal intimacy blocks, reach out to us, because we are those coaches who can guide you and can hold space for you. So we are very different. That's what I like, Tobi, because the people that are not attracted or don't feel me will be feeling you, and those that don't feel you will be feeling me. This is what this is the work we do on this earth. Okay?
Yes. Because Dina also is an earth angel, guys. And that's why I resonate with her. She heals the hearts of many in interaction, just as I do. And that's what you all don't understand. Y'all think, oh, this is a pitch. Let me tell y'all something, okay? This is our heart set. Everybody wants to talk about mindset, yada, yada. You know what that reminds me of? The Charlie Brown. Okay? People are out here so full of shit, looking to get a paycheck. Listen, we are healed whole beings and offering the same to you. Simple. Do you want to be healed? Do you want to be powerful? Do you want to be pleasured by your creation of life? And I'll tell you something. You know what? The first thing you got to do is sit with yourself and say, am I sitting in the state of heaven right now? That's the only thing you have to ask yourself. And do not avoid and deny what your heart says to you. And do not call a friend and leave it up to them. And do not call a family member and leave it up to them. Do not avoid and deny what you feel for you and do something about it. That's the first thing y'all have to do. Even if it's not, if you all don't take the step with me, take the step with Dina. Because, yes, I'm a hard ass. I've just installed a new frequency on the whole Schumann resonance grid. You think I'm putting up with anybody's shit in this world? Of course, that's intimidating for all. and all that have done me wrong. But I love you all anyway. I'm love. I'm the frequency of love. Well, you are all too. So it's time for you to step up and stand up for who you truly are and the love that's fueling you. Whether it's with me, whether it's with Dina, but you got to do it for yourselves. Don't do it for me and don't do it for Dina. Do it for you and the way that you're feeling. Stop denying the way that you feel, because that is what's real. Nothing else is real but what you sit with and feel.
I love it. I love it. I thank you so much, Tobi, for sharing this wisdom and insights. And I thank the dear listeners for tuning in. Unfiltered Desires. I like our how you call it, the name of our podcast. Okay. I That's what I have for today. Until next time, stay curious, connected, and remember, sex is sacred. Let's treat it that way. And it's not an animalistic action. That's how we have been treating it for too long while.
Yes, big time. And you know what, guys? I'll add a couple of things. We've got a couple of minutes left for value for you all. So, you know what? I know that with what I'm going to say, it's going to trigger something else to come up with Dina.
Uh-huh.
Look, you guys all think that being a whole self is having a bank account, having your car, having your cars, having your everything. But you know, as long as you're filling your reality outside of you, the majority of the time you're not filling inside of you. Okay? And this is why people need more and more and more and more, because they can never fulfill that need of searching for the seventh heaven. And I love how Dina put it. You cannot reach seventh heaven by the joy of seeing $1 million. No, you can't, if you're not connected to your own essence. You cannot feel the connectivity with somebody else in a sexual sacred exchange if you're not connected to yourself. Not at all. You know, you can only find the joy in things when you bring the joy and when you feel the joy within. If you can't feel something within yourself, you don't have it in your reality.
Yes. Yes. And you triggered something.
Yes, I know. Bring it up.
Have you know some of us do not know what joy means? What is the meaning of joy? And it's an energy. It's something that someone can sit beside you and feel it also. And it is a life, it is a way of life. Okay, when you enter the door, you enter with a part of you that you cannot see enters before you, and it set the tones for you. And that part needs to be joyful. And it won't be joyful with cosmetic or with clothing or with money, just like Tobi said. That part of you needs work. And that work, we are not all of us are taught by our parents or at school. We are not taught how to work that part. So you need to that special growth need to be done with that person that you tune in to. And that's why we have coaches. That way of living, to have a coach, a trustworthy someone that you can go to and grow that part, we need to be more aware of it and have that as an example, because I had an example. My father had coaches, okay, mentors. So in all my life, when someone asked me, I in every part of my life, I had my mentors, I had my masters, I had my coaches. Okay, for me, and until now, if I need someone, I will hire a trustworthy someone to help me in that part. And it won't say that I lacking something. It only says it's a next part of my journey, and I need that attunement. and that person has it. You know something, Toby? A lady came in, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, and she had she was very angry with a co-worker, and she was talking to me and explaining to me why she was angry, etc., etc. And she nearly get vexed or angry with me because I told her, look, what she opened up in you, it's what you need to learn. So instead of getting angry, you need to become her friend and be open for that. And she said, no way. No, I said, no, that's why we're here. Because
Yes.
women work like that. She opened up a window, a door, and you can close them or you can open it, work on it. That's the shadow works that I always talk about, and then continue to the next. But if you close that door, that next will never come because you'll have another door until you um, become aware that that's how life is talking to you. So you open up a lot of things in me with that that
Well,
part.
you know what? It's funny. It's funny because I'll mention it like that. That's a perfect example. If people want to visualize what Dina is, what just how she explained in a simple manner, is when somebody triggers something in another person, it's like they've just opened up a ziplocked container. So imagine a plastic container that you've had food in that's been sitting there for years that you're unaware of. Well, somebody comes by and says, hey, you've got this little container, and opens it up, and you catch a whiff of your own container, and it smells like shit, and you don't like it, and you fucking resent the person for showing it to you, instead of opening it, airing it out, and cleaning it out. That's the healing work. Okay? So when you're triggered, you're supposed to be, because you've got these little pieces in your biology that are molded, that are rotted, that are just sitting there poisoning you. So when somebody makes you aware of them, it is an opportunity to heal yourself and clean out that poison. So I love you, Dina. I'm so grateful for our episode. Guys, we'll wrap up this episode today. We've gone over for y'all because we love you. Reach out to Dina, reach out to us, and in the meantime, F.L.O.W. And we'll see you all next week. Feel love over worry. Bye.